You got the Jack. Is that Honey Jack? What is this?
Oh, that's
glass. It says Jack on it.
What?
Some other kind of whiskey.
Oh.
Grandpa or something.
Grandpa? It's called Grandpa whiskey.
Yeah.
Granddads?
Sure. Yeah, old granddad, something like
Old
that.
granddads.
Yeah. Something of the sort.
Yeah.
Does this look natural?
Yeah, it does.
Does this look
That doesn't fit over.
No, it doesn't at all. No, I have to wear it like
Wear
this.
it up,
If I'm gonna wear it at all, it has to be like this.
Can we see, like, just for funsies, it over, like,
I feel like
just
it's
the
gonna
top?
fuck with it.
Yeah, it might.
It's gonna fuck with the shape of it.
It will. It will absolutely fuck with the shape of it.
I mean, I'm willing to
can't-
sacrifice a $5 pair of headphones.
No, it'll fuck with the shape of his afro, dude.
Oh.
You?
That fucking honky.
That'll poof right back up. What do you mean?
Well, perk right back
I do have a
up.
pick.
I have one.
I know you probably do,
I
but
just want to. All right, fine. You don't have to.
Sorry to make you uncomfortable on your own show.
No, it's cool.
It's unfortunate. Are we recording? Is this happening?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we have been for a minute.
Okay, all right. Hey, everybody, how's it going? Where's my camera? Right here. Hey, what's up, guys? Boom.
what's up?
You guys do zoom ins? You do edits?
Crash zooms? I could
You're
try
like, I
it.
can figure it
I can
out.
find out real
I'll
quick.
figure it out.
Post.
Boom.
I could figure it out.
That's your moment right there when I point at the cam. That's when you zoom.
Yep. Write that down.
All right. What's up? You guys got an intro or something?
Yeah,
or?
welcome, not really. Welcome to the Pretty Good Podcast. We're here with LJ Sullivan.
Hey, what's up, everybody? That's my name.
Fuck yeah. And LJ is a... What do you do?
What are you?
Right now, I'm dying.
Oh man.
I put arsenic in his water.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know how to drink water. I'm a stand-up comedian.
Word.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I didn't mean to say it like that.
Yeah, that
I'm
is what
sorry.
I do.
That's really interesting.
Oh, you're new at this. I can tell.
Yeah, we don't have much gas.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So are you on email?
I have entirely too many emails, man. I have like 3 or 4 different email addresses, and I only check one of them.
What is longitude and latitude?
It's latitude.
Yours.
What is my current longitude and latitude?
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel comfortable disclosing that information on the internet.
Thank you.
How'd you get into stand-up then? Phew, small talk done. How'd you get into...
Your small talk is longitude and latitude?
I like to, see the ins and outs, and get the ups and downs.
The ups and downs, yes,
Yeah. What up, man? I opened for you one time.
You did. You did open for me that one time, and then I promptly forgot.
That's cool. I get it. I was only there for 5 minutes.
Yeah. No, I remember that because of the time I forgot, and you reminded me at that open mic. I was like, I don't know, and you were like, I've opened for you. Which is the first time I've ever felt like a dick, like as a comic, like doing comedy. Like, oh shit, this dude opened for me.
Well, I'm sorry. For what it's worth.
No, you no need to be sorry. I'm the one who's sorry. I usually remember a face. You would think I'd remember
Hit that one?
this one. Yeah,
For
the
what
camera fucked with me. I was like, what's real?
For what it's worth, I've been like off and on doing open mics for like since a while, and I've seen you there since.
Yeah.
And you're hilarious. And
Well,
I'm
thank
a
you.
big fan. And it was very cool when I saw I was going to be on a lineup with you.
Well,
and that was a
thank
very,
you,
very
man.
fun
Thank
show.
you. It's hey, you did great. You did great. You got an interesting style up there. Let's see. You wanted to know how I started comedy?
Yeah.
Was that a question? Is that something we want to do?
It was one of my abrupt transitions.
Let's hear the origin story.
The origin story.
Yeah, it sounds cooler that way.
Yeah, now I have to. There
once
like
was
a world.
Your quest.
Once there was a man, just a boy, born loving comedy, destined for the stage, coming this spring. That fucking guy, LJ Sullivan. See, that was my little Christopher Nolan flavor on it.
That was good.
That. Yeah. Boom. I like the jazzy bit as well. That was fun.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get serious here, guys.
Yes.
Because that's what this is all about. So, I started watching comedy when I was like 4 years old. It's a little bit early. For most. A lot of people don't find comedy.
It's about 2 years before 6.
Yes, yeah, right about there. And so comedy's always been like a part of my life. Just something that I've always gravitated to. It's sort of like music for me. It was just always sort of part of the landscape of reality, so to speak. So I kind of always had this notion that I wanted to try it out after, like, watching it enough.
Yep.
I went to, like, did you guys ever meet Jeremy Nelson?
So I didn't meet him, but my buddy Rich is, like, really good friends with him, actually.
Oh, cool. Out here or out there on the East Coast?
Out here.
Out here. Okay, cool. So Jay Nelson, let's go with has a podcast called The Shuttle, and I was on one of those early episodes, and we discovered we actually not at the same time, a few years removed, but we went to the same music and theater camp as kids.
Oh.
Yeah, so as a kid, I kind of knew that I had an inclination for some sort of theatrical, musical something or other. I always wanted to try and do stand-up, but to do that at, like, a talent show at that camp or at school, thanks.
Sorry.
Hola, concert.
That's not it at all. Anyway,
the fucking talent show.
Yeah, I couldn't do that at a talent show. I couldn't walk up on stage and be like, "What's up, motherfuckers?" At like the 5th grade talent show.
But that would have been sick.
That would have been sick. It would have been hilarious. It would have been for sure.
If it was musical theater, it'd be like, "Hello, fuckers."
Anyway, I knew I couldn't do that. I knew it wouldn't be allowed. Or rather, I knew I'd catch hell if I tried. So, I waited, and I was around 18, and my family used to own this bar called Quinn's Restaurant Lounge.
I fucking love Quinn's.
Quinn's is pretty dope, yes. We no longer own it, but we sold it to a guy who, part of the agreement was, like, not to change too much shit, because, yeah, Quinn's is dope. It's a fixture of the community. It's a diner, it's a bar, it's where you go to get fucked up, it's where you go to recover from getting fucked up. It's a staple of the community.
It really is.
Honestly.
It really is.
Anyway, my mom was managing there for most of my life up until they sold it when I was around 20, 21, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
But at 18, some of the local comics, some of which you might still know, like Moondeck, Emmanuel Vera the fourth. I forget how many Veras there have been, but
I don't know that guy, but
and Oleg, all these guys. I think Sophie was there back in the day too. I'm not too sure, but anyway. They were all trying to get more open mics going on around, because at the time there was almost nothing in Boise. And so they approached my mom at Quinn's, and she was like sort of hesitant, but then they talked her into it. And then she tells me like, yeah, we got this open mic down there. And I was like, I'm gonna go. Because at that point it's essentially happening in my backyard.
yeah.
Like, all the staff know me. The regulars know me.
That's like destiny knocking at your door.
Kind of, a little bit. Like, I mean, it's also, the way I looked at it is, like, this is a cheat code for starting, basically. Yeah. Like, I'm going to have the room sort of already on my side. Mm-hmm. So that first set went really well. The aforementioned comedians were all like, hey, you should keep doing this. And so I did it for a little bit when I was 18, for about like 6 months. And then, college came. And that's a whole other story in of itself. But the short version is, by the time I'm 21, I am burnt out back home and like just not about it, really. And I decided, hey, that comedy shit was pretty dope. And I'm 21 now. I can get into all the bars and the clubs where the shit's happening, because this was before the brewery boom hit Boise.
Yeah.
Say that sentence 3 times fast. So I was like, finally, of age, I'm a go. So that's sort of... So I count like sort of like 6 months when I was 18, and then I just count my comedy time served from 21 to now. So that's like 6 years plus
27.
0.5. Yeah. So I've been doing comedy for about 6.5 years, and like, yeah, that's how it started. I've just always loved the craft, and like you said, destiny came a knocking, and
Fuck yeah.
I answered the call, man.
That's badass.
Yeah.
That's a good story.
Thank you. That ate up like 10 minutes. Cool. What's next?
Good job, dude. Good job.
Let's get another one out of you. Any like
Let's get another story.
orgies?
Orgies. Never been, but I'm getting close.
Getting closer every day.
Listen, man.
We take off our shirts and
there's about to be a wild crossover, the likes of which no one's ever seen, dude. You're not ready for this. No, because Chris Foster, I'm gonna name names. Chris Foster has been getting in with the like BDSM and sex party like culture out here in Boise, and that scene, and then there's the comedy scene, and I think it's inevitable that eventually
those two
things are going to cross over. It's going to be like Marvel Secret Wars, like there's no stopping it. Multiverse incursion, and it's going to happen. We're going to need to call Doctor Strange.
Dude, it's going to be like that episode of fucking Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd
Parents, dude. Like I'm not even bullshitting you, dude. It's about to be the crossover of the century.
That's
man.
fucking
We're going to be doing 30-minute sets at orgies.
69 fucking on stage.
Look at the way this dude eating pussy. You don't know how to eat pussy. Come on, man.
You hate when you're
crowd work while the crowd is fucking.
You hate when you're right in the middle of the fucking orgy and you come and it's like, how do I get out of this? And it's so awkward. Am I right? You know what I'm talking about.
Don't touch my hand. Don't touch my hand.
Don't look at me. Look at her. Look at her.
Smell my fingers. Smell my fingers. Oh, no, you guys know what I'm saying. You guys are cool.
Good crowd.
This is why that crossover is not going to happen. They're like, no, the comics aren't going to take this seriously. We can't let them in.
It's good to be here. Good to be here.
Did you have
what else?
What else?
Did you have like a serious question regarding orgies, or are you just tossing a noun out there? Just
well, that was, but now I do have a question. Should I leave Chris's name in?
Oh, I mean, that's up to Chris.
Right. So I have to.
You have to contact Chris. Yeah. You have to contact Chris and his people. Listen, dude, I don't think anybody's going to give a fuck. I think you're okay. I think it's fine if
I don't
Chris...
know.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to care. I don't think he has reason to care. So,
He's a comedian, right?
Yeah, he's a comic.
He wants his name out there.
He wants his name out there.
Just saying. Because you said.
Shit, dude, you gotta save that cadence for more important things. That was a very casual use of that.
I care about Chris's
anonymity,
if need be.
Okay, from hitherto forth, we shall refer to this individual as CFOS.
You'll never know.
No one will ever know.
Dun, dun, dun.
So you're a dungeon master.
Yeah, I was about to
Yes,
say
I
that.
am. I am a dungeon master. I play Dungeons and Dragons. I was actually earlier today, before I came to do this, sitting down with another dungeon master to roll up a character for their campaign.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, yep. I am all about the Dungeons and the Dragons.
How many
bro.
campaigns you DMing for?
Can you talk about
I
censor it?
DM. What the fuck?
It's like personal.
I DM one game, my game, and then I'm getting ready to play in this new game. And
Okay.
I also just recently began playing in another game. So I have like 3 games going on right now. 2 aren't mine, 1 is mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no, it's pretty fun.
It's pretty fun.
It is, yeah. It's a good time. You guys have like almost the perfect setup in here to do like a D&D cast. Like,
Oh, we
have-
could actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
We've had a few
should do one.
D&D people on here.
Kinda like a
Should
Critical
definitely,
Role style.
Yeah. Semi-critical role-esque. Yeah, no, you might need another camera or 2 or something, but
Oh,
you
we got some GoPros.
the green screen and the whatnot.
Yeah, just design some little freaking frames.
Holy shit,
and
do you
stuff.
guys have like a schedule for people's attending the podcast?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Whoa. Y'all are way more organized than I would have imagined.
Heck yeah.
We're gonna clip that. That's gonna be the highlight of this. Yep.
That's all LJ Sullivan
Sup,
says.
dude?
More
You
organized.
got the stamp
than you
of
would
approval.
expect.
Plug something while you can, because this is hot time right now. We're in a good spot right now. You better.
That fucking podcast.
Cool.
That fucking podcast. Is that your podcast?
That's my podcast. It's been dormant for a little bit, but it's about to pop back off. So everybody
Oh,
should
fuck
go
yeah.
catch up right now. Because I recently moved into a new place and it has room for like a studio, like dedicated podcast
That was like-
zone. So I'm excited to like focus on filling that out and making it happen. And when the podcast comes back, like there will be a transition probably from audio only to
a video.
and audio, and that's how you'll know like, oh, the upgrade has occurred.
Yeah,
Like,
fuck yeah. That's what's up. Yeah, it's really fun, like, having a space for it and fucking being
Yeah,
able, like,
man.
it feels like way more, it just feels more freeing to, like, be able to, like, be like, oh, this is a spot where I can just, like, be creative and, like,
Yeah.
let loose, you know?
feels a little more real, a little more tangible.
Totally.
Yeah, for sure.
To take it a smidge more seriously, but not
a little
much.
bit. Not
Yeah.
not too serious.
Can't take it
don't
too
want to take it too serious.
Still the pretty good podcast.
Yeah. It's still just pretty good. Listen,
It's not that.
we're not gonna get. It's not gonna
Not
get.
that fucking podcast. This is the
Listen.
pretty good podcast.
That fucking podcast doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, it's that fucking podcast. Like, that's not what it was. More like, oh, a fucking podcast. Like it was like it really what it is to elicit that fun little moment when someone's like, yeah, he's got a podcast. I can't remember what that fucking podcast.
Yeah,
no,
same.
but what's it called? No, that's what it's called. That fucking podcast. Like
that's how
just
we
to get that little moment with the fans and the.
I do that when I tell people about this.
Like,
what's your podcast?
I got a pretty good podcast, and it's like, oh, what's it called? It's a pretty good podcast. Yeah, no, you just then you're in that loop. It's fun. It's fun to name your podcast something you can get some who's on first action with. You know,
and then you're not gonna forget it.
Yeah, no. The people won't forget. They'll remember. It was good for it's good for branding. I have like stickers and pins that say that fucking podcast on it. I do a little asterisk for the U so that it's family friendly.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That's smart. Kids can spell. I don't get why. That's like the one thing they're good at.
What is that letter?
Like you guys think an egg?
All they're doing is watching fucking
facking
Wheel of Fortune with Grandma on the weekend, dude. The kids know how to find the missing
The kids do know how to spell.
dude.
The kids are all right. They know how to spell.
The kids are all right.
You ever You just said kids fuck.
I said the kids fuck. Filled in the blank.
I was gonna say something about spelling bees, and now it's just gone.
Oh, my bad. F-U-C-K.
What else we got? What's up, gentlemen?
Oh boy. So, you're into nerd culture.
I am very much about nerd culture. I'm in it.
You're an anime guy?
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah?
yes, absolutely.
One Piece?
100%. One Piece. I have a complex relationship with One Piece. I like it. I respect it. I have not and probably will not ever watch the whole thing. I caught a few episodes as a kid, and like I get it if that's your anime. I get it. I respect it. It's fundamental to the culture. But at the same time, it's just one of those. Every anime nerd, I feel like,
You're just afraid to commit.
Has one or more anime that they're just like, everyone likes this one, but I don't like
That's
this
true.
one.
That's very true.
And so One Piece is kind of that one for me. And yeah, I'm not gonna watch over 1,000 episodes.
What if I told you to start at like 100 and watch until like 350?
I would still have to look up the filler episodes and cut all that shit out as well.
You watch, like,
and
one
then
every 10.
Maybe, because here's the deal, bro.
What if I
did all of Naruto.
Me too.
I am not caught up on his little shit kid Boruto.
Okay, it gets pretty cool around
I know.
episode 100.
I know. Listen, dude, I know. But I'm saying, like, I invested all that time in Naruto, and then also I was doing Bleach for the longest time, and that's a fucking hell of a ride as well.
I feel like I'm the way with Bleach
that I am with One Piece.
Yeah, like I've seen a lot of it, but
you're not gonna take that full ride. Yeah, no, it's just that's what it is. Like I get it, and it's good, but at a certain point, there's so much shit out there that you got to just be like, you know what, that one just never didn't get me.
Yeah, it's crazy. Those big ones, like, there's so much content surrounding them that like you could only consume content around that, and like for your entire life. And there would still be more coming out, and you wouldn't be able to like fucking do it. And it's like people do that, and I can't. There's so many fucking animes out there.
Oh yeah, good, dude. No. Like I try and like keep a diverse anime palette. Like I try and like watch different anime, new anime and stuff. But like, dude, my comfort is always gonna be in Dragon Ball Z and Naruto. Like that's where home is. Like because Dragon Ball Z, that's like hardcore childhood. Like I was a kid, and then Naruto came out at this fucking pivotal point where I was like going into adolescence, but I still had that kid energy, you know? And fucking Naruto hit the States, dude. Like, I remember the night that shit was, like, airing for the first time on fucking Adult Swim. Like, they had gotten rid of Toonami at that point. Yeah. It had to come on Adult Swim as, like, their first fucking thing. And I remember staying up and watching it. And, like, being like, that first episode was alright, I'll probably keep watching it. And then, like, just having, like, riding that ride initially, like, through the Zabuza arc. With the fucking sword in the mist. And like, the fucking needles and shit. That fight on the bridge, dude. Like, once I saw that show, I was like, this is the new king. Mm-hmm. This is the new shit. Like, this is the next level. Like, this is better than Dragon Ball Z. Like, this is the shit. And then they did the fucking Chunin exams.
Dude, yeah. Like, and the fight with Gaara and, like,
fucking Rock Lee dropping the weights. Dude. Once you see Rock Lee drop the weights.
His leg weights and it's just...
And part of the reason that hits so hard, though, is because it's like fucking Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, and it's Dragon Ball Z and Naruto. Like, you don't get to one without the other, but, like, part of the reason that moment with Rock Lee hits is because if you watch Dragon Ball Z, you're familiar with Piccolo and Goku having the weighted clothes. So then when fucking Rock Lee does it, you're like, oh, he's on that Dragon Ball Z shit.
Fuck yeah.
Like, he's about to fuck him up. Like,
that's right.
It's so dope. Yeah, I fucking love anime, dude. Have you seen Vineland Saga?
I watched the first season, so loved it.
Yeah. I still need to see the second season, too.
Don't watch it.
Really?
I watched the first episode. It's not even about fucking the people from the first season at all.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Dude, so disappointing. Shit. I hate it when that happens. Like, did you ever watch Tokyo Ghoul?
Yeah.
Same fucking thing, dude. Like, great fire first season. Yep. And then they just fucking fumbled the bag.
Exactly, dude.
Like,
exactly. Fucking.
I was about to say that.
You don't seem like you're a part of the anime conversation.
No, but it was fun to listen to. I felt like I was watching, highlights. It's good to see how they're doing.
If you clip this out, the anime conversation, you have to put below us as we're talking about the like a loop of Rock Lee dropping the weights, so people know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I do have to do that.
It'll just be a picture of me going.
Well, that's what it is.
You watch Jujutsu Kaisen?
I have friends who tell me that I really fucking need to, but I have not yet. I've seen a little bit of Demon Slayer, not up to date on that either.
Demon Slayer's sick.
I want to give Attack on Titan another shot.
I need to give that one a chance.
Yeah, because it, like, the way it came out was really jumpy. And so I sort of just didn't, for a little bit, like, I liked that first season, and then it just felt like to have to wait in between every season to see where they were going with, like, the mystery of it all and everything. Like, I'm gonna wait till it's out, and then I will binge all that shit, so I don't have to wait for answers. That's one thing that I fucking hate, is waiting for answers, and I feel like that show really capitalized off that feeling of, like, people want to know the answer, so we're gonna just drag that out for as long as possible, just to keep people viewing.
Feels Game of Thronesy.
Kind of, and it feels like on the part of the creative team, like they don't trust themselves to come up with something compelling enough to keep people here, so they have this little gimmick to fucking get people to stay. Like, oh, I want to know what's fucking happening. And it's like, you can craft that organically, or you can just ride that wave ride that bitch till the wheels fall off. And it just felt like that's kind of what they were doing. But, like, if you watch it all in a binge, then you don't necessarily feel that. I wasn't, like, around paying attention when Death Note was coming out, but I wonder if Death Note had a similar vibe as it was releasing. Like,
can't really
why
remember.
are we hyping this mystery up so much over the course of so many episodes? Like, that's where I can feel people who criticize anime, like, it's like takes so long to build, and like I'm willing to let that go for action because of what I said my roots are. DBZ and Naruto takes 3 episodes to power up, sure, but when it's a mystery story, I don't want it to take 5 episodes for us to figure out where this is going. Like, I
get that.
I need some action, bro. I need to know.
I'm definitely an action anime type guy. I feel like that's like the point of watching anime too, and like half the time is like for action, you know.
Because like here's the thing: if you want to tell a dramatic story, there's no reason you can't just tell that dramatic story on screen with good actors. The whole point of animation is you can do wild, crazy things that are not replicatable in real life on screen, no matter like how much CGI. Which is why the
biggest like successes in anime are the most fucking crazy ones. One Piece, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z. Like
part of the cool thing about anime is like you can have someone like bleeding out on a floor with like a puddle of blood the size of like a fucking lake, and like you believe it though.
Or like when their like throats cut and it's like splurts like 6 gallons of blood.
Exactly.
Like,
the only dude doing that on film is Quentin Tarantino. Like there's like you just don't get a lot of that. So anime is the shit. You should watch more anime, bro.
I've tried. It's not that I avoid it. It's just there's other things that I watch that are.
What are you into? Like 24? The Wire? Lost?
No, I like
musicals.
I'm a big musical guy.
You're a musical guy.
Yeah.
You're into musicals.
Big time. Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite musical?
Singing in the Rain.
Singing in the Rain. Okay. All right. Classic. Classic musical.
What's yours?
I did have a whole summer where I kept Grease on repeat.
I did Grease.
Yeah, I was a big Grease fan. Oh, yeah.
Big Grease guy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's a little bit surprising.
I know. Yeah, no, it's the white half, dude. It's there. It's real. It's present.
Grease.
You can't deny it. I can't deny it. It's there.
Can't deny it.
It's fucking
We
right.
go together like dude, the songs of Grease are so good, but
Grease.
Grease is rapey as fuck.
So rapey. It's very not.
The whole point
in today's culture.
The whole gist is, Sandy, I'm a guy. Why aren't you into that?
That's kind of it. Yeah, that's kind of the whole thing.
This should be working out.
This should be working out.
I'm literally everything you could ever want, according to my other friends. I got chills.
Yeah.
Oh, those magic chains.
West Side Story was fun. I liked West Side Story. What are other musicals? To be honest with you, like, I'm not a huge musical guy.
Okay.
I like some musicals, but like Disney movie musicals.
My favorites are all Disney movies.
That shit annoys the ever loving fuck out of me. Like I can listen. I can do Jungle Book and I can do Lion King, and that's about it. Tarzan, Phil Collins went hard.
Yeah. Brother Bear.
No, see, that's the thing. Most of the Disney musical music, like it just, no, it's all just, it's like it's as if you
Phil Collins did Brother Bear.
If you took pop music and classical music and you synthesized the worst of each genre and then you mixed them together, that's whatever the fuck Disney puts in their animated movies, and it really bothers me. I really hate it. I fucking hate it.
Hot take.
Hot take.
That is a hot take.
You can't do that to me, man, because now I'm going to start giving you a bunch of hot takes just because I want to hear the fucking music drop.
Okay. Cool. Do it.
Oh man.
Any controversial?
Now I have 0 hot takes.
I think water.
Teen Titans.
Oh my god, dude, fucking fire.
Yeah.
Fire is fire. Here's the deal, man. Western animation had a moment in the early 2000s, late 90s, where they were learning all the right lessons from anime.
Batman Beyond.
Batman Beyond, 110%.
Dude,
yes, you
that
know what
show
the fuck I'm
was
talking
so
about right
sick,
now.
bro.
Batman Beyond, Teen Titans, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like, there's just certain things, and it's like you can tell they were learning the lessons.
Yep.
They were watching animation. And the animation coming out of Japan was just so fire and so good. And you could tell the animation teams behind these, like, Western-centric, like, origin projects, like, they were learning. They were watching and learning. And, like, I don't know, something happened. Something happened where that shit all just went out the window, and it was like, yeah, let them do that, and we'll do our stupid, fucking cutesy wootsy Warner Brothers
big heads,
animation.
fucking
Yeah, exactly.
little body,
basically,
bullshit.
fuck
Just
Teen
pop
Titans
figurines.
Go.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit, because you took all the cool Samurai
I'm not gonna lie.
Jack.
I'm not gonna lie. Samurai Jack was great.
No, you can't strip something of all of its style and pastiche
He's got a new show.
and like all of the shit that makes it cool and unique and like artistic. Just take all that shit away. Let's paint it by numbers, make it look like everything else, and then just keep the characters. Like that. That's so insulting to like the people who like to the original fan base, essentially. That's not really a hot take.
It's not a super hot take, but it's a good take. But here's a hot take: is the writing for Teen Titans Go is actually pretty good.
Point.
It's pretty good.
Because a lot of the writing team are from the original show.
I didn't know that.
That's the thing, is I almost said that it's like it's an affront to the people who originally worked on the original, but a lot of those people jumped over, right? And so they're actually kind of behind it, which is why I switched it to the audience, the original audience. But like, the writing's good because they're aware of how the audience feels. So they're able to get meta with it and like do
our age is the
and do meta commentary and like it's not for us anymore.
It's for our kids.
I get it. Yeah, sure.
Whatever.
Fine. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but it doesn't change the fact that you went from cool, sleek as fuck, badass art style to some fucking goofy goober bullshit. Like you can meta commentary write your way out of this all day if you want to, but the facts are the facts. You downgraded your shit, and you maybe don't wanna recognize that as the creator, because that would be a hard pill to swallow, that you had a great thing and you turned it into a mediocre thing. But guess what? That's what the fuck you did. You compromised. You took the check. You sold out.
Yeah, Warner Brothers, you piece of shit.
Pieces of shit. Seriously, that music's too good. Oh, keep going.
Man. Can you put the headphones over your hair?
I refuse to put the headphones over my head.
All right, I tried.
You have one earbud in.
Yes.
Okay, and yet you're trying to lock me down.
I just wanted to see what your hair looks like with the thing. That's all. I thought it'd be funny. I'll do my hair in a funny, silly way if you want, in solidarity.
I'm not doing it.
All right. All you had to say, but
Are you gonna film a special soon? What's up with that? You've been doing comedy for 6 years?
Dude, I mean, Nate Ford did comedy, I think, for 20 some odd years.
24 years.
Yeah, before
he's doing his first special this month.
Yeah. So I'm in no rush. I am in no rush to fucking push out a special right now.
Fuck yeah.
I have an idea of like when, or rather where I would like to be in life when I do a special. And like, I don't know, I have ideas, and I definitely have an hour or more material. That's not a problem. Like, but there's more I would like to do in terms of building out an infrastructure. Like if I put out a special, I want it to be something that will get people to, start following me, and not just like clicking subscribe on YouTube or follow on Instagram. Like legitimately, I want them to like be
buy
following
tickets,
me, like buy tickets when I show up on their feed. They don't scroll past. They're like, what's going on? They're like that's what it means to really follow. So there's a lot of people that I follow online whom I haven't pressed follow, but when they pop up, I'm like, oh, what's homie got to say? And so like if I can just get people to do that, then that's traction, that's momentum, that's something. So like I don't want to do it until I know that it can be done at a certain level of quality, and then like distributed at a certain level, and just be sort of ready. Like imagine if I put out a special and it led to like this immense wave of people, like fans supporting me and stuff, and I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah.
Right? So I want to be prepared for special doing great. I also want to be prepared for if I put out a special and it bombs and it doesn't result in anything. Not it bombs, but like it doesn't get me traction in the fucking zeitgeist or whatever the fuck. Like, so like I have to be prepared for the win and the loss, right? Which I think means like before I shoot a special, I should be doing more work on the road.
How much road work have you done?
I've done the Northwest Black Comedy Festival in Portland, and I have like dicked around in Chicago a little bit, like enough to develop some contacts out that way. But like beyond that, like small town shows in Idaho and shit, but like I've never been on tour. I've not done comedy like in some of the smaller Washington, Oregon, Montana sort of cities around us. Haven't gotten to Salt Lake, haven't gotten to Las Vegas. Like there's a bunch of places around that I need to like hit up and like figure out how to get on the road, book shows, generate money, like cover my costs traveling and lodging and all that shit. Like there's a lot still for me to figure out. These first, so say 6.5 years in total, but the first 4 years I considered like it's like comedy college, like comedy theory, like figure out sort of my voice and what it is I want to say, and like what my style is, and like not even like have that figured out, but sort of getting a grasp on it. And then the next couple years were like pandemic times, so it wasn't like I could really like
tour.
There wasn't a lot of room for me to like try and grow in that way. The best I felt like I could do was like just stay sharp, just keep telling jokes, and now I'm at this point where it's like I'm trying to get back to sort of where I was pre-pandemic, which is like let's get on the road, because the interesting thing about having done what little I have done is how different audiences can be from region to region, place to place. Totally. Or not how different they can be, people are people, but like how different their sensibilities can be, and what they laugh at, or they might everyone might laugh at this joke, but at a different place in the joke depending on where you are physically on the planet. Like, so like the laugh might come at a different time, or like there's just so much. It adds so much more variables to. I mean,
even open mics here in Boise have different crowds.
Even open mics, like every show is a different show. Every audience is a different audience. So like there is always that, but then to see how much how much that spectrum can like sort of explode once you exit a certain region and into another. It's like we have the spectrum of light that we see in as human beings, which is like this much of the light spectrum, and then there's like the full real light spectrum. And I feel like as a comic getting on the road, what you're becoming aware of is that full light spectrum. Like if you were a fucking shrimp, you would be able to see all these different colors. And so like working the road, I feel like, is sort of developing that sort of sense, that ability to see that full spectrum, as opposed to your hometown region fucking spectrum of colors. You want to be able to see in like the whole world's spectrum. And so the only way to do that is to get out there and see it and bump into it and feel it. Like when I went to Chicago, I was going out to open mics, and like I hit like the Lincoln Lodge and the Laugh Factory. This place, it was like this VR bar. I feel like, oh man, I can't remember what it's called, but I think VR Red Line, because it's right off the Red Line. Maybe Anyway. I went to these few different places, and like, I don't know, like the first few nights I was like, this is okay, it's iffy, this is fine. Then I went one night, it was a late night mic at the Lincoln Lodge, and you could just tell, like as a comic, you could feel this is a room of all comedians. These people are all probably here every week. They've heard everything each other has to say. And so when you as the fucking out of town guy pop up, they're all sort of like extra critical and just listening. And so like I fucking bombed that set, like bombed it hard, like really hard. And like that was just, I was like, when you bomb, like it's such a difficult feeling, but also I feel like for me, maybe part of the reason that I'm in this shit is like it lights such a fire in you.
Like you want to get back up there and like say some more shit to be like,
maybe
hey,
not even that night. Like the night, like there's nothing you can do that night. It's like the next time I get on stage, it has to be fucking fire. Like it has to deliver. And so, like, I took that into consideration after that. Like, okay, this is Chicago. No one knows you here. You know what? Maybe don't open with "What's up, motherfuckers." Maybe we're not there yet with these people. They don't know you like that. Like, so, like, just little lessons like that, and like, oh, they don't care about such and such topic, but what's a topic I have that everybody fucks with food? I'll talk about food or whatever, or I like again that fire being lit and me having to like. I have to make sure this next set goes well. Before the next set in Chicago, I wrote some shit about my time in Chicago, reflecting on the trip up to that point. And I made that a big part of my next set. And it went really well. It went great. So just like living through that and making those small adjustments of like, they're not as familiar with who you are. These topics don't ring the same way here as they do on the West Coast. And like give them something they can relate to, something that's about them. Like, and that's like a thing that I knew, but I hadn't lived it because I knew that from like other comics coming into town, and they'll like ask about the town and like what's going on and how people are feeling and what the norm is. And yada, yada. They're gathering intel so that when they get on stage, they can talk to the people there
About shit they know.
Make them feel comfortable. So that way, when they go to do their shit, they're fucking there with them. They're on the same page. And so like that's another level to like set building that doesn't exist at home. That like I gotta get these strangers on board, because the strangers at open mics here in Boise, fundamentally they're like just more similar to you. Like you kind of know where they're coming from, even though you've maybe never met them. But the further out you go, the more different the bigger portions of the audience become. So like you have to be able to make that adjustment in crafting your material and your set list. So
Totally.
like basically I went on a long tangent there, but that's all to say I have a hell of a lot more to learn before I'm ready to put out a special.
For sure.
And like I feel like there's a lot of people out there who are like their first like 5 years into comedy and they're trying to put a special out on YouTube, and I'm like, you know what, dude, maybe just save that. Maybe just sit on that material, see what happens. Because I have a joke, a closing piece of material that I was telling this joke in like fucking 2018, dude. And I've been telling that joke and I still tell that joke, but it just morphed like a fucking month or so ago. Just changed. This one little extra added beat has breathed new life into the bit. Like it was always a really strong closing bit, but I could feel myself getting bored with it and delivering it sort of like I know this too well, and then like the audience still reacts well, but not as well as when I was first telling it and it was fresh and it felt fresh for me, and they were like, oh, what the fuck, yo, like, because they can feel that.
Totally.
So like you never know when a piece of material is gonna have that sudden growth to become something more. And like,
Sorry.
You're good. Gazoon tight.
Thanks.
Is there gonna be another one?
No, danke.
So like you never know when a piece of material is gonna like suddenly get better. So I'm not in a rush to put anything online. I have clips online that like people can go look for. But that's mostly just for submitting to festivals and being able to point to, like, show people, like, yes, I do stand-up comedy. Like, it's like...
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like 6 years in is an interesting place, an interesting time for a comedian, because it's like... I definitely have the ability, like, artistically. So now I kind of need to take myself to business school.
Yeah.
Now I kind of need to fill out that
figure out how to
side
manage
of my
and agent
game
yourself
and stuff. Yeah, exactly. Because like if you put me on stage and you put a microphone in my hand, like I don't want to like boast names or anything, but like some pretty fucking dope comedians have seen me perform and be like, you got the goods, dude. Like anytime you're here, let me know and I'll get you on stage. And so like to have people whose shit is being played like on Pandora.
Yeah.
Like people whose shit is on like fucking serious comedy radio and shit. Like people, well established individuals, people opening up for like Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer and not Jack Wheeler. Like they're on the road opening up for him. Like when those types of people tell you, like...
You just need Jack's mom, dude.
I just need Jack's mom, dude. I just need to go to breakfast with Jack's mom, and that is all going to line up. It's all going to happen. Yeah, Jack.
Jack, where's your mom?
Where's your mom?
But I mean...
Let's go get some biscuits and gravy, Mrs. Wheeler.
So, like, we're kind of on the same page. That's why I asked for your longitude and latitude. You gotta know where people are.
Yeah. Way to make
Same,
a
same, but
callback
different.
to a joke that didn't super land.
It's all about land in this case.
Okay. All right. Yes. You got me
We
there.
gotta know where you are on the land so
On
that
the
my
land.
dick joke, so I can structure my dick jokes accordingly.
I'm near the 44th. I'm somewhere near the 44th parallel. I'll tell you that much.
Word.
Fact.
Fact. If you know your vodkas,
Yeah.
you know that.
That's right.
Oh, man.
All right.
Yeah. So, no, you guys got me off on a tangent on, like, comedy.
No, that was a good one. I liked that. I liked that. That was a lot of, I think, good knowledge for me personally. Fuck, I don't know. Like,
sure,
I'd never thought about, like, really the, like just like having material, you know, and sitting on it and not putting it out in a special, because there are so many young comedians now that are putting like their specials out that like haven't been doing it for a long time, and
like,
they're blowing up, and it's like,
that's
shit, well,
true.
like,
but like the norm nowadays is once you put out your special, you retire that material and you move on to make more new material, which I fully intend on doing.
yeah,
But my first special needs to be good enough that, like, it needs to hit the fucking ball out of the park. So I'm not gonna just throw material on that first special that hasn't been finely honed after years and years of doing comedy.
You're not just filling time.
Yeah, I'm not just filling time. And so, and then there's also, that's not what the norm always used to be. It used to be you would figure out your hour, your act.
yeah,
And that was it. You would tour for 3 fucking decades on that act.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way that it was.
I know,
And so, like, I feel like just the way that I'm trying to do it is just sort of trying to meet in the middle on the tradition and the modern, like, standard. Like, yes, once I do a special, I'll have to retire that material, but there's nothing saying that first special doesn't, like, can't sit and stew and become the best it can possibly be for as long as it needs to.
Totally.
Like, so.
Fuck yeah.
Thank you.
That's cool.
Thanks.
yeah, no, man, you sound very educated on the matter.
It's not so much. I mean, you could
Some
say
honest
educated. You
experienced
could say educated. I've just been, like I said, watching comedy for a long, long time. So I've been watching. I started watching comedy. Like, I feel like there's a difference between watching comedy for fun and then, like, dissecting it, kind of. And, like, I started dissecting comedy when I was like 13 years old, which then you sort of start to see the inner workings of it. And then, like, podcasts started happening, and I started to be able to listen and hear from the professionals even more about that inner working of the craft. Like, you could call it an education of sorts, but it's a thing that I love, so I pay attention to I pay attention to the craft. Like, that's just what it is, man.
Totally. What are you Kill Tony fan?
I've watched Kill Tony. I enjoy Kill Tony. I don't watch it a lot. And, like, I've had to learn to like Tony Hinchcliffe.
Okay.
Like, he comes off, and he knows this, he comes off as very, like, snooty, very uppity, right? And so that, like, really rubbed me the wrong way, especially, like, before I really knew him, knew what he was all about. He came through Boise, and he walked through the club one time, and that, I think what it was he was in Boise, Idaho, and he didn't want to be, which is very, and then that plus the perception of him being snooty or whatever really, like, sort of soured me on him at first. But then I've like watched episodes of Kill Tony and seen him on JRE and stuff, and like I feel like I have a better read on him now, and I'm like a little more of a fan. I've always been a big fan of Red Band. I actually have a pretty cool little story. He would never remember this, but it's big for me. I was out in LA going to the Comedy Store. I was in my first year of comedy, and I had just been booked to host my first weekend of shows at Liquid Laughs here in downtown Boise. So I was fucking stoked, and that show was basically going to happen like the week after I got back from this LA trip. We're in LA. I've talked my mom into getting us tickets to go to the Comedy Store. I'm gonna go to the Comedy Store, and it's like the fucking Death Squad night, so it's all the hitters, right? Like Rogan is there, fucking Ron White dropped in, fucking, and Red Band was there. And so after a fucking great night watching all these like fucking A-list comics work shit out and do their thing at the Comedy Store, we're leaving, and on that outside patio bar you hear them talk about on podcasts and shit, Red Band is hanging out and like talking to people. And so like I go up and I talk to him, and I'm like, so I'm like a new comic and they're about to have me host, and like I was just looking for advice, and like he gives me some advice, basically tells me that like hosting is like he says that like a lot of people don't like it. He's like, a lot of people don't like to host, and it's like, you like feel free to work out like some new material if you need like the extra time to work on this new thing. Do that, get them in the mood for the show. And he gave me all this advice that ultimately ended up being like pretty good advice. And like, but then also you could tell like he was kind of like not super, he probably does this a lot, so there was also some like, I don't know, man, whatever, like figure it out to it, like if you gotta fucking talk about the weather if you have to, like I remember that being part. Like he gave me all this good advice, but that was in there too.
In there, just slipped in. It was like, do whatever you gotta do, man.
And that was kind of my cue to walk away and get the fuck out of there. So that's what I did. But so I've met Red Band, so like that's cool to like see him on Kill Tony and doing stuff, and like definitely once Casey Rocket moved down to Austin, and like they are all down there. I started watching more. I worked with Tim Warner when he came through Boise, and so like seeing him on Kill Tony and stuff has been cool. So I feel like the more people I know in that orbit, the more a fan of that show I become. Yeah, definitely. So.
Have you thought about ever trying to get down to Austin here soon?
I have absolutely thought about getting down to Austin. At one point in time, I was thinking about moving down there, but I need to pause on that. Like I said, I just moved into a new place, gonna build a podcast studio and stuff there. I'm sort of focusing on building a home base and getting on the road and traveling.
Totally.
And then if I need to move somewhere, once I'm a little more established as a comedian, I can move somewhere. And that way it feels like I'm not moving and building at the same time. It'll be more of a, let's just transplant this operation that I've built to this new place kind of a vibe. So that's where I'm at now. And I was thinking Austin, but I've always sort of gone the opposite direction of everyone else. Like pre-pandemic, I was very like comedy focused, comedy motivated. I was doing my art, my craft, training in martial arts, and like I would work fucking 2 days a week, except once a month I would have like a crazy big catering job, and like that's just what I was doing, and I fucking loved it, man. That was everything. So that's where I was pre-pandemic. Pandemic hits, and it suddenly feels like, oh, fucking survival. I gotta get like a job, and like have money. And that's where I was at for like the past few years. Yeah. So I'm trying to work out of that, and like it's interesting because during the pandemic, everybody else was the reverse, right?
Yeah,
like they started embracing their creative. I'm gonna make bread or do pottery or fucking whatever, and I'm like, I'm gonna go to fucking work. Yeah. So, like, I was swimming the opposite direction as everyone else, right? And so then when I look at Austin and, like, every comic in
And
the
they're
country is fucking swarming
Flooding.
Austin, I'm like, I don't want to be just another face in that shuffle. I would prefer to, like, try and build my own thing outside of that, and then, like, go to Austin, go to LA, go to New York, and then when I'm there, it's, like, noteworthy that I'm there. You know what I'm saying? I would rather be that guy as opposed to the guy who just lives in that city and is there all the time. Like, and like the world we live in, if I do a good enough job with the podcast and like my online presence, then it doesn't really matter where home is.
Totally.
Like, that was sort of the whole conceit Joe had in going to Austin, and what has resulted in this whole situation now is he's like, we don't have to be anywhere. Like, with fucking Zoom and the way the world is, like, you don't have to be anywhere to do anything. Like,
I think the really interesting thing about Boise comedy is how young of a stage it's in still, and like there is like I feel like a lot of opportunity to build something here.
There's a lot of opportunity to build here. The city is growing, and we have like a comedy community, so there's an opportunity to join the ranks of like Portland and Seattle and Denver and even like Salt Lake to a certain extent, where people know like there's comedy clubs there and it's a comedy city, and like so we do have the opportunity to build, and that's another reason why I'm like that's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna build my home base here, and then if I need to move later on, I'll still have that option. But I want to kind of see what happens here. I kind of want to see what happens in Boise with the comedy scene. And we're one club away from being like a real force to be reckoned with, I think. And I also think like Casey Rocket is destined to be huge. I think he's like got next, basically. And if it ever comes up that he like developed a lot of what he does and is doing in Austin here, if that comes up, if people catch wind of that, then we'll suddenly have a little more cachet in like the comedy community, I think. It's an interesting place, Boise, and there's, I think, freedom to get really absurd and goofy and ridiculous with your shit out here. And just, yeah, man, I want to see where things go with Boise a little bit. But I'm also not opposed to moving. I just want to see what happens, and I want to build my own shit out before I go anywhere. So we'll see. Like, Austin's on the list, Denver's on the list, LA's on the list. I have family out there. Like, there's a lot of places on the list. The reason I went to Chicago was to sort of scout it out, see if I wanted to go live out there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens as far as me moving. But as of right now, I don't see a reason to, and more what like life has presented to me this cool opportunity to like sort of build something at home. So I'm going to try and do that, and then leave if I need to, but like also I can just go on the road, man. Like I can make the studio, and then just go on the road and fucking be on the road most of the year. Yeah. And just fucking flop at the house for a little bit when I need to. So.
Fucking, you're good at talking.
I can talk all day, dude. When you color the green screen, it's gonna... Okay,
it does it every time.
Nice.
Yeah.
I guess
I turned it off this time so that we can set it.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yes, is me being in blue gonna fuck with it?
No.
Yeah, okay, alright.
No. It'll...
Okay, cool.
It'll be fine. We could throw something up there right now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, it's playing now. Anyways.
Yeah.
Thanks, LJ.
Thanks for
is
coming
that
on.
it?
I think, yeah.
We're like at an hour and 10 right now.
All right. Well, shit. Anytime, dude. You guys are just right up the hill from me.
Oh, no
like,
way.
You guys are like 5 minutes away from me.
Fuck yeah.
Like, I wasn't bullshit when I said, like, some of my best friends from high school, like, literally lived across in like this other set of apartments right here. Like,
Dude, we should definitely do like a comedy party at the fucking pool house then.
dude, I'm saying, bro, it'd give me crazy ass nostalgia
That would be
vibes.
fun as fuck.
It'd be wild. It'd also be cool to party in that clubhouse. Legit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh no, the parents are gonna come and find us.
No
None
way,
of that.
dude. Not this time, bro. I
fuck
got
it,
the
dude.
fucking homeowners
Yeah, dude.
We can party with our parents this time.
Yeah, dude, we can-
Right, dude.
My dad loves to party.
I could feel that. I
Yeah.
felt that.
All right, you got where can people find you on the internet?
So I am that fucking guy LJ on Instagram. The U is an underscore on Instagram. That fucking podcast on Spotify. The U is a asterisk on that one, and you can just search LJ Sullivan and like cool stuff comes up. Like I have some stuff on YouTube, like I said, some clips and shit, and yeah, just like keep a lookout for your boy. I'm doing stuff in Boise all the time.
What's up,
Good shit.
motherfuckers?
Konnichiwa, bitches.
Have a pretty good week.
I'm a slut.